What's up, Sparks? Are Z seeing what I'm seeing? It's the 2023 Lexus RZ450e. Luxury. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sparkplug TV. My name is Chris and I do car reviews for literally everybody, not just car enthusiasts. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have something nice to say, please comment it down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I can. Huge shout out to Johnson Lexus of Raleigh for sponsoring today's video. Johnson Lexus, with locations in Raleigh and Durham, is the highest selling luxury brand dealership in North Carolina and the surrounding states. Check the link in the description below. Anyways, today we have the 2023 Lexus RZ450e all-wheel drive direct for luxury. Now, Lexus and Toyota loves to give their brand vehicles the longest possible name, especially when it comes to the trim and all of the trimmings. There's actually a Toyota 4Runner right over there. But this is an exciting vehicle. I mean, it is, out of every vehicle that's on the E-TNGA platform for Toyota, I think that this is the best iteration out of all of them. Now, let's go over some specifications first. So it is fully electric. It's got a 71 kilowatt hour battery pack that can charge on a DC fast charger at about 30 minutes from 0 to 80%. Now, people have said that that is kind of slow. I don't think that's terribly that slow, but it might not be the fastest on the market. Now, this is considered a compact crossover SUV. It doesn't really look very compact in my opinion, but it is smaller than most, but it is looking about the size of a NX, and we'll get into more comparisons with the NX later. But one of the newest features on this, at least, is the, listen to that. That is new. I don't know, I kind of like it. Kind of sounds like a pretty doorbell or something. I'm not sure. You can get these with a illuminated front L badge. This one obviously does not have the illuminated front L badge. This one is just the regular one, but you can see the camera housing right there for the 360-degree camera as well. There is no frunk. The front part of the vehicle is used for a lot of the components. This one does have the 20-inch wheels, as it is the luxury package. Now, the 20-inch wheels do degrade the rate at which you can drive the car. Hello, that was such a roundabout way of saying it degrades the range. So if you have the 18-inch wheels, you get about a range of like 220, I think. But with the 20-inchers, you get a range of 196. So not the most in terms of range on the RZ450e, but it does have all-wheel drive, and it does, Lexus refers to it as Direct 4. You can see it right here on the badging in the back, Direct 4. But I mean, in general, I love the way that it looks. I think that out of its Solterra and then the BZX, I literally can, for the life of me, never remember it, but I can see it in my head, the Toyota counterpart. Out of those two iterations, this is the best one that they make, in my opinion. I think it's the best looking. It's the quickest. It's got 308 horsepower, and it's got a 0 to 60 of about 4.6 to 5 seconds. It's the most luxurious out of the three of them. So it does have the L-shaped running lights, of course, but the only difference now is that it does also come with these 3 dots for the additional daytime running lights. So it does have the kick open tailgate, and it's got about 23 cubic feet of storage in the back and about 47 cubic feet of storage with the seats down. As you can tell, I've got my camera bag and my other stuff back here, but you can lock the car with this button as well. I'm very impartial to the light bar situation that the industry is going under right now, but you know, I like the way that the light bar looks on this. I think that out of all of the Lexuses that have these light bars, I think, you know, the only two that really do the best with the light bar are the IS and then now the RZ. I think it just looks clean in general. I think it's got, you know, the flared out back fenders. It's got the, you know, general Lexus kind of appeal to the front end of it. And it's got this kind of like diamond kind of stitching look up front as well. So we go on the inside. So this does have the ultra suede seats in the Suyasumi color. Now, these are not nearly as cool as the new Lux seats. These are a bit warmer when you step into it. But I do love the suede all throughout the inner cabin. The doors are also deceivingly lighter. But you can see that the suede is also on here. This does have, it's not as suede-y as regular suede is. It actually is still kind of soft touchy, and it almost feels like a leather. It does have a 14-inch digital infotainment screen, and then it does also kind of share the similar gear selector that the Solterra has that I did in that video as well. But in terms of like design language on the interior, I love the way that this looks. I mean, it is just so gorgeous. I think it's even prettier than the actual NX itself, even though it's being compared to that a lot. It is really, really cute, and I really love the way that the interior looks. It does have this open pore wood grain feel to the center console as well. I mean, you know, similarities with the NX definitely are in part with the 14-inch infotainment system and then these partially bezeled HVAC controls. Now, it does have this 7-inch fully digital gauge cluster that is pretty standard for Lexuses now, and just Toyota products in general. It does also have the Lexus Safety Plus 3.0 integrated safety systems. So it does also have this really cute and fun attention alert camera that will literally follow your eyes, but will not give you full autonomy on the road. So I haven't been able to turn it off yet. I have kind of tried to like go through the settings, and I have not been able to find it. But other than that, I mean, you know, it does have the NX style door release latch right there. I really love the way that this suede color looks. Now, it does have the dynamic sky panoramic roof, and it's like this frosted glass panoramic roof that you're basically able to toggle on and off, like kind of like a luxury, you know, bathroom situation where it just gives you this modicum of privacy. So the RZ450e comes in two trims. It comes in the premium, and then it comes in the luxury. This one obviously is the luxury because it does have all of the luxury trappings and the 20-inch wheels. Now, the only difference is probably the wheel size, and it does come with a few more bells and whistles, as well as the 1800-watt Mark Levinson sound system. Now, and again, in all of my videos, I've talked about how premium the regular 10-speaker sound system for the Lexus is. So regardless, I mean, I would probably go for the premium one just because it's going to come with a higher range than this one. You know, not by much, probably by like 20 to 30 miles. But you know, this one, I don't know. I mean, the range is just really, really low on this, but I am driving it right now just to kind of take it over to a parking spot because I do want to show the dynamic parking capabilities. So basically what you do is there is the park button right here, and you have to come to a full and complete stop, and then it will, okay, but see, it's thinking that that part on the medium is the parking spot. Do you see that? That is not a parking spot. So now we have to obviously figure out where the next possible parking spot is. So I think it does see this one. So it does see this one. So I'm gonna hit start, and then I just let off the gas, or the brake, I mean, sorry. And then it does try to amicably do its best when it comes to parking. Now there is somebody coming right now, and I hope that they let me in. So this is not doing its best because it's also, it did see that car, but I don't think that it, I just am scared. I didn't want it to like hit anybody. So it does definitely see the parking spot, but it is having to change it up so much. And at this point, I just kind of feel like you're better off just parking it yourself. I did try to park it earlier. It is so sketchy sometimes. Okay, but it is doing it. And it's actually doing it very well. Yeah, okay. You know what? That did it very well that time, but before I started filming, I did do it over there for a stint, and it almost backed into a car. Now, of course, it does have automatic braking, but it literally positioned the vehicle so close to the other car that was next to it that it literally almost hit it. Now, I don't know. I mean, I think that it is good sometimes and it's bad some other times. I mean, when I tried it in the Solterra, it just was not very good at all, but in the Lexus it is just a little bit better. So let's go ahead and take it out on a little test spin. So, and then when you do change it into sport mode, it does change the gauge cluster into this red dial. So that is the active sound design. And you know, it does not seem like you're able to toggle any of the active sound design, whether it be on or off. Now, you know, I will say that Lexus is, you know, comparable to Mercedes a lot of the time when it comes to quiet, comfortable driving. And, you know, this new steer-by-wire is a kind of a newfangled steering, you know, capability that is supposed to help deaden the, you know, the rough feeling and the rough terrain in the road. And I do think that it does a good job with that. And I have read some articles that have said that it's taken some people getting used to, but honestly, I do think that it just kind of feels like a normal kind of modern car where the steering just kind of feels numb, but it's honestly not that numb. It feels just as close to numb as any other car I've driven. Now, it does have paddle shifters, but the paddle shifters are obviously for the regenerative braking. Because, I mean, what transmission are you changing gears in? Now, there are some electric vehicles like the Porsche Taycan that technically has a 2-speed electric vehicle transmission. This one just has paddle shifters for the regenerative braking, and I don't know if you can see on the gauge cluster itself, but it is changing next to the D logo, the rate at which it will brake. And what my favorite feature is that it shows you when the brake lights are actually on, which has been a real pain point for me in a lot of these electric vehicles. It doesn't really show you when it is braking. You know, I am glad to kind of see that come to the mainstream of, you know, some of these other vehicles other than Tesla, you know what I mean? All right, so we're gonna kick it up a little bit. Traction control just came on. Now this thing weighs about 5,000 pounds and you can feel that it's pretty freaking heavy. But so far, I mean, there's no oversteer because I'm definitely not hitting it too hard. So I am about to take it onto the highway. Now, I was assuming that the luxury came with this semi-autonomous driving capability, especially with these cameras that scream at you if you don't pay attention. And on my way driving it back, I did not get to experience that because all it did was yell at me. Now, what I did is I did go into the drive assist section where you can toggle all of the blind spot monitoring, parking brake support, all that good stuff. And the one thing that was turned off was the proactive driving assist. So I'm hoping that once I get back on the highway right now, that I will be able to turn everything on. Okay, adaptive cruise on, following distance on, gonna set the speed, and then we're gonna see if it will let me do it because I think it is reading my eyeballs. No, it's not letting me do it. There's a little bit of road noise, but it's not egregious. But it is so supple. Wow. Wow, is this ride supple. All right, well, while I'm stuck in traffic, let me just go ahead and do my final thoughts for the video. Now, I think, again, oh my God, okay. Like I said in a little bit earlier, I do think that out of all three iterations of the E-TNGA platform, this is by far the best one out of the three vehicles. It is the nicest looking. It is the quickest, albeit maybe not the quickest on the market, but it is the quickest out of the three of them. You know, it does have a bit more creature comforts. You know, it's got a heated and ventilated front seat. Well, the Solterra has it. It's got the premium Lexus feel that customers come to expect when they buy a Lexus. You know, it's got the supple materials, albeit maybe not the most supple on some spots. It's still very supple. It's got the really nifty door release, which I love right here. The charging pad actually works in this one. Oh my God, okay. The only thing that I think is my biggest gripe with this is the inattention driver notification that you get if you don't even have your eyes on the road for 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. But again, I mean, I just think that this is, it's very comparable to the NX, but it does kind of give its own self. I mean, you know, this totally isn't NX over here on this side, and honestly the way that this is kind of shaped isn't totally NX either. It's mostly just like the steering wheel and then the infotainment system that are very comparable to the NX, as well as the gauge cluster, but I think other than that, it is kind of its own IP, for sure. You know, and then I guess besides the inattentive alert system, the only other thing that I would say negative about this is the fact that it just has such a really short range. I mean, it is just so short, this range. I can't get over that. You know, not even 200 miles for the 20-inch wheels. I mean, and then maybe 200 miles for the 18 inchers. It's just not for me in that sense, but in every other form and function, I mean, this thing kicks ass. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video. Thank you so much to Johnson Lexus of Raleigh for letting me borrow today's vehicle, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye. Beep, beep, beep. Hey Sparks, thanks for watching today's video. Do you want more Sparkplug TV content? Then you can choose one of these three options right over here. The middle button is to subscribe to my channel, so please do that. Right over here. These three. I can't see them in real life, but they're right here.